Hey there. I am currently in this really cool little kind of like cubby area zone that is part of this bridge. Oh my gosh, I still don't know the name of this river. Man, it's pathetic that I don't, but anyway, it is a beautiful, beautiful river that runs right through Prague slash Praha, Czech Republic. I'm not going to say this lightly, I don't think I ever would, but it is one of the coolest cities I've ever been to. I've been to some really cool cities in the US. Some of my favorites, Austin, San Diego, Portland, Santa Barbara, which is more of kind of a town. Been to some great cities. This one really nice. But anyway, how's it going, everybody? So I've had something I wanted to share on my mind since yesterday, while we were walking around last night, heading to the concert to go see this band I've come to really love very quickly. I can love lots of things really quickly. I just, I jump in fast, but which kind of goes along with what I'm going to say here today. But so I was thinking to myself last night, the hotel we were supposed to go in, and I could be repeating some of the information, but we couldn't get in. And then we had to find another one and, just kind of do some maneuvering. And we missed our first bus yesterday, so we had to wait a couple hours, like 3 hours actually, because the bus that we had to get instead of the one that we missed was like almost an hour late. And so then when we got here, the key didn't work to the hotel, and we had to get another hotel room. And so anyway, by the time we got to the show, we missed like 60% of it, right? And so, anyway, before I get there, actually, I'll just finish that story. So I was kind of been out of shape. I was kind of mad. This is a band from the U.S. that I really, really love, and I was like, oh my gosh, gonna see them in the capital of the Czech Republic. That people have said is really great, and they were all right. And then if you listen to me and come see it, you're gonna be like, man, Jason was right too. But so the point is, I was kind of been out of shape. And when I say kind of, I mean kind of severely, actually. And I was been out of shape a few days ago also over something. I can't even remember what it is anymore. I don't even want to take the time to remember. It was maybe having to walk with our luggage across, Paris or something like that. So think about it. Jason Martinez is in Paris, France, which is a cool city. Some people will tell you they might not like it, but they're stupid. I mean, there's a lot to do there. It's going to be really fun, right? Especially if you got the right attitude. So anyway, here I am saying that I was in this fantastic place, and yet I was bent out of shape, mad, right? Because I had to carry some luggage or whatever. Last night, I'm really bent out of shape because we're late to this show and had some issues with a few things, right? Nothing crazy happened. Our bus didn't break down. It didn't get canceled. Nobody got sick. No crazy accident has happened. It's just like some inconveniences, and it pissed me off really badly, right? So I'm gonna get straight to it really quickly because we're gonna ride a like riverboat like we did in Paris. That kind of thing's really cool to me, just to kind of see parts of the city from that boat perspective that will get you around to kind of tour some areas you wouldn't have a really easy time getting to otherwise. But my point is this video, if you're watching this, if you're actually listening to this right now, you're gonna get some super honest, authentic shares from me, and I'm fine with that, okay? So if you're okay with it, then keep listening. If you're not, and you just want, some like simple travel videos and some show and some concert, footage from the birthday massacre and the midnight and whatever kind of other things I post, right, then just watch those. What I am going to tell you right now is that while I am going through these really amazing places on this particular vacation, actually I don't like that word, actually. It's kind of a cheap word to me. On this particular adventure, right? I don't like the word vacation. On this particular adventure, I'm seeing a lot of really great places. And I should be grateful all the time. But the reality of the fact is that I'm not. There's points where I get down real hard, right? Really hard, really bad. Like last night when I think back to it, I was standing there and I almost wanted to get my phone, like missing 60% of the concert. I almost wanted to take my phone, literally, I was imagining it, and I wanted to like find the closest body of water, like a creek or a puddle, and just like throw it in there. Like I just quit, right? I give up. I quit. I'm out because I had to deal with some like challenges throughout the day, right? So anyway, what else do I have going on other, than I've taken a lot of really, great trips and been a part of a lot of great adventures, even around just in my normal life. I feel like my normal life for the most part has been a fantastic adventure, even in my hometown. But here it is, okay? That's what I'm trying to share with everybody. It has been a tremendous struggle for a big chunk of my life, right? I don't know what the percentage is. I don't know if it's half. I don't know if it's 30% or 20% or 5%. But I know it's enough to where I feel like it's not super rare. And the reason I want to share this with you, so what I believe it is, and I had a conversation with a psychiatrist recently about some things, because I was curious about some perspectives I had, and I set this appointment up, and she was like, oh, you've got family history here and there and that of like bipolar disorder and anxiety disorder and all these kinds of things. And so I can only speak for myself, right, in my own perspective. And so last night, whenever I see myself again on this journey, everything's great, that one roadblock of like having a few things happen with the hotel and a bus and then being late, it felt so crushing to me. It got me down so hard, so fast, that it occurs to me as just a massive, massive struggle with rapid cycling, what they would probably call, what the diagnosis would be, rapid cycling bipolar disorder. And so some people could be watching this, if you know me, be like, oh yeah, that makes sense, because like you know so much, right? You're like, oh yeah, that Jason, of course, I've known that for years, or I should have seen that. Now that he mentions it, it seems so clear. Well, whatever you think or don't know, again, like the only person who's riding the ride, right? The only person who's on this vessel, right, who can speak for sure to what the motion of it is me, right? As an observer, you may have some great points or whatever, but anyway, my point is that it is not that easy. I try so hard to keep myself busy, so I really don't have to stop to take a look at what I'm dealing with. And that's what I want to invite everybody to think about today. That's my real question today. My real question to everybody, my real thought really, is how honest of a look are we taking at ourselves? Like, as opposed to just like running, right? I said that with a nice Texas accent, as opposed to running. So I just, am curious, stopping running and really like maybe letting the truth behind your life settle in. That could be crushing to some people, and it might be crushing to you. It might be crushing to me. Maybe that's why I'm doing all this kind of stuff all the time, right? Maybe that's why I get to school at 7:30 in the morning and oftentimes leave at like 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8, depending on what kind of stuff is going on. Why I'm constantly trying to go to other places, as much as possible, or find new things to do all the time, right? Is because I can pretty well guarantee you that I am running from something about myself too, mostly probably just my feelings, right? Look how pretty it is back there this time of night. Golly, we're gonna have to go get on that boat pretty soon, so we can go check out how beautiful the river perspective is, you guys. But so anyway, I definitely want to kind of wrap this video up. I just want to say, that while I run a lot, from whatever I'm running from, right? It never ever cures anything. I don't take any psychiatric meds. I don't have any kind of regular therapy I go to. Bug flew right in my eye a second ago. But again, it might feel good, it might feel good. And again, you might be like, wait, what could you possibly be complaining about? What could you possibly be complaining about, doing these kinds of things that you do all the time? You should just be like screaming for joy. Look at the light on everything back here. It's so pretty. I keep getting distracted by how pretty it is. But my authenticity to you is that my life is a massive struggle a bunch of the time. I wrote a poem once about a waterfall and a broken vase, about this vase that has this massive like hole in it, and not only does pouring water not keep it full, it has to like be near a waterfall because the insides of the vase like empty out so quickly that it needs like a waterfall worth of material to fill itself back up again. It was the longest poem I've ever wrote. I'll tell you right now, that poem was about myself. That poem was about myself, about me having to like throw events all the time, travel to places, just, you know, I don't know, just like coordinate and construct things for myself to attach to all the time. And again, like it's just like a self-medication, right? It's a self-medication. It doesn't make me a bad person, of course. Everybody knows that. But it is dangerous, though. It's dangerous because it doesn't cure me, right? There's no peace, actually. There's only medication, which, as we know, when you stop taking the medication, symptoms come right back up, right? And so everybody out there, I've been talking about myself now a good bit. I just want to ask you guys out there again also, you know, how honest are you being with yourself? Now, hey, here's the funny thing about blind spots in life, right? You can be like, oh, I'm perfectly honest with myself. You know, I know myself better than anybody does. And, you know, I've got the perfect life and nobody can tell me otherwise. Well, the funny thing is I have a suspicion that most of the people who say that and just say it quickly, the quicker you say it, the higher likelihood that you've got a massive blind spot and you are just refusing to actually take an honest look at yourself. But I don't know, maybe you do have a perfect existence and you just know it like that. But so at the end of the day, you know, Cali, what a beautiful city here. Prague, Czech Republic, phenomenal city, phenomenal place, so nice. I'm gonna get back out in it. I just want to conclude this video by saying that while it might hurt, you know, like while it might make us feel like we're going crazy, to actually take an honest look at ourselves, like actually stop and say, wait, maybe I'm going to ask some people and say, hey, be really honest with me, right? When you look at me and when you pay attention to the way I behave, how does it occur to you? Do I feel like I've got everything, you know, going in a peaceful, you know, authentic, honest way with self? And I need you to tell me honestly. Now, guess what? If you were going to say, nah, I ain't asking nobody that, because I already know. I ain't asking anybody about that. Nah, dude. I don't need their opinion because I already know. Again, you are a prime candidate for somebody who is having the world's biggest picnic in blind spot central, which means you're not really looking at anything for real. You're just living in this construct again. You're just living in this construct. So hey, who's the only person that can really get us out of these blind spots? Well, sometimes things force us out, but at the other side of that, we can choose to kind of just take a different look at things from a different angle, and then maybe see things for real. But yeah, how's your self perspective, and how are you guys doing? Like, how do you feel? You know, how's that relationship you've got with yourself in terms of, you know, in terms of the path that you take, and whether you're just trying to keep yourself from feeling something, or you're trying to suppress something, or who knows? I mean, I don't have any of the answers. I'm just telling you again, for me, that it was rough yesterday. I have a rough time a lot. I have a lot of days. I have a lot of days that are not easy. They are really, really, really hard. And I don't know if medication's the right answer, or if finding ways to get to know myself better is the right answer. But I do know that I am excited to get back out here today and just keep enjoying Prague, the capital of Czech Republic. What a freaking great place. And yeah, so let's see here. What time is it? I gotta go get tickets. We got a little bit of time still, but hey, don't be afraid, everybody. Don't be afraid to take an honest look at yourself, and don't run away from the idea that some of these things you might be seeing are not what you want to see, or they're not what you're proud to see, or they're not the kind of things that are going to make your family proud, or make people feel good if you were to be able to admit it. Because at the end of the day, at the end of our lives, it might sound like a cool carnival ride to just keep lying to ourselves, but then your whole life's a lie. And I don't think that's the best place to be living. So yeah, hey, I'm not here with any answers. I'm just saying again, think about it. Think about it. Do you really stop? Do you really stop the ride sometimes and get off the ride and take a look around in some stillness? Just really take a real calm, honest look at where we're at, maybe what got us here, where we're going, how it feels to us, how it affects other people. Yeah, I feel you. There's ways to get to know ourselves better, right? And running is not the way to do it. But so hey, if you want to know a song that was written for me, it actually wasn't written for me, but the band I saw here, the Midnight, last night, they have a song that actually is called Jason, which is my name, in case you didn't know. And I want you to listen to that song. Look it up right now. Look up the song Jason by the Midnight, and you want to talk about something that was written for me. They may not realize they wrote it for me, but they did write it for me, because man, it really sums me up pretty well, or at least the place I was from then to now. Maybe I'm going in a better direction if I figure some things out. But yeah, look up that song Jason by the Midnight, and then thanks Miss Den from my school. She's always saying, she's like, I feel like you're running from something, right? Maybe I am. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get going. Take a look at this beautiful city. Come check it out yourself. Take off the blinders. Stop and get to know yourself a little bit better, right? And if it's not perfect, guess what? It never will be. It never has been, and it's not going to be at any point in your life. For me, for you, for all these people walking around everywhere, all these people there too. There is no perfect place to find. We're never going to get there, but there is a better place, and it starts with being honest. So go ahead, give it a try, even if it stings a little bit. That's part of the process. You'll be better off on the other side, okay? Catch everybody later. Thanks for listening, and see you soon.